Hi, I'm Brenda with CountryGirlGrit, and thank you for checking in with me right now. I want to share this trip with you where I left my home on wheels to travel across the country to visit my daughters, not just one but two, because they're twins. And so I'm seeing their houses for the first time that they had built. They live 10 miles away from each other. The countryside was just so beautiful. The flight was crazy to get there and crazy to get back. And I'm hearing my grandson's music for the first time, so that was pretty cool. And just spending that family time together, and it was great. 8 days. And this is video 2 of the videos that I put together. So I hope that if you haven't seen the first video that you'll watch that, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit that button now, and please watch all the way through because I really need the view hours. So let's dig right in. Saturday morning, listening to my grandson play music and having some good hot coffee. That's one hot cowboy right there. This was the view from my daughter's backyard, and of course the wonderful sunsets. Of course, doing chores was fun. These were the sweetest, most delicious apples, and the most fun to just be able to climb up in these trees and just have so many apples to pick and choose from. It looks like somebody's going to be making a whole lot of apple pies, maybe even some apple moonshine. Did I really say that? Honestly, we picked so many apples. If I could have put them in my suitcase and brought them back to South Carolina from Dakota, I would have done that in a heartbeat. Delicious. This is Beefy. He's 12, my daughter's dog. This is Christina with her 2 dogs, and they're so spoiled rotten. This is Dempsey's. They make their own beer. It's located in Watertown, South Dakota. We had so much fun. We had a specialty pizza. I wish I had some more. It was so delicious. The boys headed off to go do some hunting. This bird was unique. This was at Dempsey's, and he was like protecting the nest. These mushrooms we found in the woods when we were exploring. Of course, look what happened to me. Got into a little bit of trouble. Didn't have to have my hair cut though. I was worried. Oh boy, I think I'll have to cut that there. Oh God. It's painful.
No, it's not. There. See? No hair has to be cut.
Oh. What is that? This ended up being a buck. I mean, like a huge buck. Like, he was like huge. Very first time that I'm seeing my daughters, the twins, their houses that they had built. This is Christina's cute house. I loved it. It's just gorgeous. And then we have Christy. She lives 10 miles away from Christina. And a lot of country. When you look out her backyard, of course, you can see. Here, headed back. We are getting ready to depart.
From the bracket, hold upright. Pull the safety pin, aim at the base of the fire, and press on the trigger.
Chicago and I have a 6-hour layover. I tried to get an earlier flight out, but I guess I wasn't eligible. So I'm just going to wait it out. And Chicago is not my favorite airport because it's just so huge. But I'll go from Charlotte from here. So my gate changed again on the other side of the airport. I finally arrived in Florence, South Carolina. Been in airports all day. My last flight from Charlotte to Florence I almost missed. I literally had to run to my next flight. It was boarding when I was leaving Chicago to Charlotte. So I was really glad I didn't miss that flight. Or if I had of, I would have had to spend the night in Charlotte tonight. I wouldn't have wanted to do that. It's almost midnight now, and my first flight this morning was at 8:45. So.
Oh, hey, Pickle.
Mommy's bowling. Hey, buddy. I know, honey. I miss you so much. I miss you so much, Rachel. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go get my stuff.
So let me share with you what a crazy flight I had coming back from South Dakota to South Carolina. So first I left South Dakota. The airport was the size of a post office, and flew into Chicago, had a layover of 6 hours. So of course I did some work and I made the time go by. But then when I left there, I went to, of course, fly into Charlotte. So going into Charlotte, I'm like, forgot that the time was going to change. So I'm like thinking that I had, plenty of time. So then it hit me like, I'm on the plane and we're landing and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to miss my flight. So it took forever for the aircraft to stop taxiing and waiting for other planes. So by the time we finally stopped the plane to get off in Charlotte, I was like, oh my gosh, my flight I know that it's boarding right now at the moment. So I'm just like really freaking out because I'm at the back of the plane. So then I get up and I go, I've got to get off this plane. And so I'm like, hey, I need to scoot by everybody because I'm going to miss my flight. So I'm like rushing on up, and I'm like sitting in their laps and scooting by people. I'm like, I gotta go. So finally I get off the plane and I'm like trucking it. I am running through the airport like I have never ran before. So when I get to my flight, I was the fourth one the last four to get on. So I was like so thankful that I made it. Had I missed that flight to Florence from Charlotte, I would have had to spend the night in Charlotte and wait till the next day to catch another flight. So I was just so tired and so grateful that I was able to make my flight. But so then finally I get to Florence. My son, he's coming in from Myrtle Beach to pick me up because I have to go get Ranger, my dog. And so then he picks me up. It's midnight by this time. Well, it's like 12:30 at night, midnight, past midnight. So he picks me up. We're driving back a couple hours to Myrtle Beach. So in our lane, there's this huge deer in our lane. My son swerved. Thank goodness that he was able to control the vehicle. But I was so scared because we were going 60, and you know, thank goodness no other cars were on the other side, but thank goodness we did not hit that deer because it was so big, and we were, you know, we were in a small Jeep, so we were, whew, it was scary. So anyway, made it back. Ranger, my dog, he was so happy to see me. It was 2 o'clock in the morning by the time I got back. And then spent the night there, and then I drove the next day to my mom's, you know, a couple hours back. And so here we spent time before we go back to our home on wheels, because we live full time on wheels, back to our adventure life, you know. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I so love you for watching and for taking the time to watch my video all the way through. Bye.